the United Supermarkets Arena here in Lubbock. I'm John Harris along with Chris Level. It's Texas Tech and Arkansas Pine Bluff. We apologize for some audio problems that we have been suffering here leading into this ball game, but we think we have gotten that straightened out and we are ready to go. Here are your starting lineups very quickly for Arkansas Pine Bluff and the Red Raiders. That's Matt Mooney to get the Red Raiders off to a start, but for the Red Raiders, it's Tariq Owens, Matt Mooney, Jarrett Culver, Davide Moretti, and Lorenz Ode-Ase. That is the same starting five for all of their games this season. And for Arkansas Pine Bluff, the Golden Lions have Jackson, Banyard, Doss, Martaveous, McKnight, the guy to watch wearing number 23, and Cameron Posey, number 30. So Red Raiders here in the early going, Chris, facing a zone defense of Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of a matchup zone, actually, John, as there's man-to-man principles on the ball, but zone everywhere else. But Red Raiders trying to figure out kind of how to go about that right there. That's the tricky part about a matchup zone, is that you're not supposed to kind of know what defense they're in, and it's hard to run an offense against it.
This is Martaveous McKnight, number 23. He'll give the ball up, but one of the nation's top 10 scorers. Has a couple of games this year of 40 or more, so he can light it up for the Golden Lions. They've only won a couple of times this season. That's Posey in the corner, and Arkansas Pine Bluff is in front.
Yeah, and Martaveous McKnight, you mentioned that. I mean, it's tough to get 40 points in your own driveway, much less against an opponent in a basketball game in college, and he's been able to do that twice. So a battle of corner three-pointers so far. One for Arkansas Pine Bluff, and then Davide Moretti buries one at the other end of the floor.
And Davide has struggled recently in the Red Raiders' last 3 games, only 1 of 8 from beyond that arc, and already 1 tonight, and he's got the steal here.
Yeah, and again, I think that this Pine Bluff team, if you pressure them, they'll struggle a little bit. They turn it over, I think, 31 times versus Cincinnati. So certainly the Red Raiders will look to turn up their defense and ball pressure tonight.
Arkansas Pine Bluff has a couple of wins this season, but 2-5 on the year. The Red Raiders will extend their defensive pressure. Shot there, not good. Jarrett Culver, the rebound for the Red Raiders. Lorenz Ode-Ase, who missed there, has played against this Arkansas Pine Bluff team 2 other times in his Red Raider career.
And that's something right there. You see Tariq Owens pick up kind of a cheap foul right there. Wrong place, wrong time. In foul trouble most of the game versus Memphis, and he played so many tremendous minutes down the stretch, all with 4 personal fouls. But that would be one thing that I think Chris would like to see him improve upon right there, is just not picking up those early fouls in games, because see, now he's got to come out a little bit. And he tried to catch that alley-oop pass from about 10 feet above the rim right there. Not quite tall enough.
Culver put it up just a little bit too high for his teammate, and now off that Red Raider bench, Brandon Francis, Kyler Edwards, and Deshaun Corprew. I thought that trio was the one that sparked this team to rally and win that game against Memphis down in Miami over the weekend.
I think you nailed it, and a lot of it, they had to play extra minutes because of so much foul trouble by everybody else, and it was kind of a moment where this team kind of gelled and stepped up, because some of those guys were asked to play a lot more minutes than they usually had, and they answered the bell against a tough opponent like Memphis.
Officials in this ball game tonight: Marcus Pettigrew, Gary Maxwell, and Kirby Sitton. Red Raiders get the offensive rebound, get it back, and Matt Mooney has scored again.
Yeah, nice to see Matt Mooney getting going early on in this one as well. Did not his best outing versus Memphis either, but he grinded away at it, took care of the ball in most occasions, and didn't contribute much to those 17 turnovers that the Red Raiders tallied versus the Tigers.
Well, but for all the things the Red Raiders did poorly, the 33-10 run to end that ball game, mighty impressive.
Less than 8 offensive rebounds tonight. He told his team no more than 8 turnovers and no more than 8 fouls per half. He told his team in the shoot-around, guys, let's just go out there, be who we are, play our game with our tempo. And on a much lighter note, it is superhero night here tonight inside United Supermarkets Arena, and you can see the student body kind of celebrating that. But Coach Chris Beard said earlier this week in his fireside chat, his favorite superhero is Plastic Man. Is that right, Level? Did I get that right?
That's right.
I heard that's also your favorite Superman, too.
There you go. And Tariq Owens channeling Plastic Man right there with the tip out of bounds right there as he stretches out.
Plastic Man does not get much
and that's what Chris Beard said. I think he thinks that Plastic Man's been slighted over the years.
All right, well, Tariq with the block there on the drive by Marcus Wallace, but Arkansas Pine Bluff lines up with the basketball after all is said and done, and I think Tariq's got personal foul number 2.
Yeah, and see, you have the highlight block right there, and he follows it up. He just got to not put himself in that position to where he gets that second personal foul. Chris Beard telling him, don't get caught. You see the replay right there. I mean, how high is he above the rim on that block shot? As he's comes into this game almost with 3.5 blocks a game.
Boy, and underneath on the inbounds play, Terrence Banyard, who has started every game for Arkansas Pine Bluff this year, able to get underneath, score, and get fouled. 3-point play opportunity for the sophomore out of Milwaukee.
And you know, John, it's easy to see how it transitions when Tariq's not in there, because then they get an easy bucket at the rim right there, and you're missing your rim protector. So it's just there's no real true backup for Tariq Owens on this basketball team.
8 blocks in that game against Memphis on Saturday, set a school record for block shots, 23 on the season for him, and Red Raider pressure in the backcourt forcing the Golden Lions to throw that ball away.
You think Norris Odiase knew that ball was a little off, as he almost sprinted to the basket as soon as that left his hand following his shot. You're taught to do that as a young player, but I think he knew that was a bit wide as soon as it left his hand.
Banyard will sit Chris Smith and Christian Robertson into the ball game for George Ivory's Arkansas Pine Bluff team. Corprew standing near midcourt waiting on that inbounds pass, and now the Red Raiders try to set the offense. Davide Moretti, Kyler Edwards gaining more and more confidence as the games go by for Chris Beard.
He really is. You don't want to put too much on the young man, but it reminds you of what Jarrett Culver and Zaire Smith did last year in November and December, as they just kind of kept getting better and better and better. Kyler is certainly starting to figure it out, get a little more confidence in that shot, and I think it's as going in as much as he is comfortable taking it.
6'3" freshman out of Arlington who played his high school basketball at Findlay Prep out in Las Vegas, averaging just over 7 points and about 2 rebounds a game in his brief Red Raider career. 10 on the shot clock for the Red Raiders. Brandon Francis had 10 the other night against Memphis. Edwards, jumper, in and out and no good. And into the hands of Dwayne Whitfield for Arkansas Pine Bluff. The Golden Lions run. Here's McKnight wanting the basketball, the Red Raider freshman. Edwards to defend. Red Raiders have a unique way of playing defense when a player like McKnight gets his hands on the ball.
Yeah, and you'll see, well, there's a cut through right there.
Defense there.
Absolutely, that should not happen, but that's a great set by Coach Ivey right there that gets his best player an open look going to the rim. And I think what Texas Tech would like to do is show him attention, in that when he's got the ball, there's multiple guys that are aware of him, and you're not doubling necessarily, but he may see Texas Tech across the 5 different jerseys at any point when he's got the ball. But right there, he comes on that last play right through the lane with a dunk.
Been a while for the Red Raiders to score. 2.5 minutes. The foul a moment ago on Banyard, keeping Odiase off the boards. Did a really good job, but perhaps too good. Red Raiders, though, turn it over. And Pine Bluff has an opportunity. A moment ago, I think Kyler Edwards turned his head away from McKnight, who drove inside for the dunk. Nice shot there on the baseline by McKnight again. He's a volume shooter, Chris.
He will put it up. There is no doubt, and a lot of them go in. And then they're going to work to get him open so much of this game, and you just have to be ready for it. He's going to see multiple defenders, and again, at some point, maybe Chris Beard does decide to double in a little bit.
Pretty nice play hanging in the air there by Jarrett Culver to draw the foul. The Red Raider sophomore will be at the free throw line. Nice move around Chris Smith to put that ball up and get it to go.
Well, a spin move with the left hand right there in traffic, and that's why this young man is special. I mean, he's projected in a lot of these NBA situations for next year. You certainly hope that he continues to have a really good year, that he would have a potential decision to make, but it is fun watching him play basketball. Again, can go to the bucket with either hand, and it just everything's so smooth for him.
He's one of 20 players on the 2019 Jerry West Shooting Guard of the Year Award watch list. So I don't think you get there if you don't have something special in your game. And Martaveous McKnight is off to a great start. Arkansas Pine Bluff has crawled back within one of the Red Raiders. Davide, though, Moretti on the baseline, got the shot to go, but got knocked down in the process. No foul called, but Moretti took a shot to the forehead.
They may go take a look at the monitor here, John. You're right. I think Davide comes down. Yeah, and you're right. They're going to go take a look at this thing. Yeah, he's his left eye. You see him kind of wincing, and we're going to take a look right here and see what. I don't think it was necessarily intentional.
No, just the long arm of Isaac Bassey after Moretti had let that ball go. Bassey is a 6'11" junior out of Falston, Maryland, and just really the follow through on that hit Davide in the forehead and dropped him.
And I think as you see him in the huddle right there, he's okay. Nothing malicious there at all. He's may have gotten raked in the eye, if you will, a little bit, but he'll be okay.
Chris Beard won his 52nd game the other day as head coach of the Red Raiders. Here's another look at that from up above. Bassey just sort of following through after Moretti had put that ball up, and the two just collide as Davide's coming down.
And we're being told it's just going to be called a common foul right there. Again, I think he's just trying to block the shot. Just gets Davide in the face right there. But nothing malicious.
So the Red Raiders do score, and they will keep the basketball on their end of the floor. Malik Ondigo has joined Culver, Davide Moretti, Brandon Francis, and Matt Mooney for the Red Raiders. Bassey will check out. Banyard is back in. Marcus Wallace in there. Marquell Carter. And McKnight, who's off to a great start. Brandon Francis there from the corner. Can't get that one to go, and cleared out by McKnight, who's listed at 6'4", Chris, but really doesn't look quite that tall. But he can shoot.
He can score it. There's no question about that.
Pine Bluff on occasion will turn that ball over. Francis up the court, cannot finish after the steal. And the Red Raiders, who lead by 3, drop back on defense.
And you see two golden lions at the scores table waiting to check in. Coach Ivory will not put up with much as he rotates about 15, 16 guys into the games for his team. So it's an interesting way to go about it.
Play a lot. Wallace with the long-range jumper that does not find the rim. Matt Mooney turning the ball over. Culver in the scramble. Francis underneath again misses a layup. Tough on Brandon Francis inside, but the Red Raiders do lead here over Arkansas Pine.
This is the ranking you want to be very high in, and the Red Raiders, I think, with those wins over USC and Nebraska, because I think Nebraska is actually 9th in that ranking right now. It has certainly gone a long way in keeping the Red Raiders, you know, in that top 10. But that's, like I said, more impressive than your top 25 ranking at this point.
You'll hear more and more about that as the season goes along and you get closer to the end of the year in the NCAA's postseason tournament, clearly. But the Red Raiders, with a great start and a ranking there on the net rankings. Francis, who missed a couple of times on those layups a moment ago, pair of free throws, and will check out.
We're trained to think RPI, and we have been for years, as it relates to just, you know, when the committee meets and they try to put a tournament field together, but it's now the net ranking. They feel like they've kind of perfected the formula a little bit.
Another steal by the Red Raiders. Owens is back in the ball game. Got it to Culver, and Culver has an opportunity here. Three-point play chance coming up. Foul by Marquel Carter.
And what Culver does so well is he goes straight to the rim. He doesn't fade away. He gets to the center of the rim. And again, we talked about that. You watch him here. He could have, you know, faded away, but he just, again, he goes, attacks the rim. And so he's going to force the issue right there to where he's either going to come away with a layup and some free throws, or just free throws. But he's not going to come away with a miss or anything like that and end up with an empty possession because he shot away from contact or anything like that.
Culver couldn't finish the three-point play, but the Red Raiders on a 6-0 run after the deflection and steal by Tariq Owens and bucket by Culver. Marquel Carter up top against Matt Mooney for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Anthony Davis in the ball game as well. McKnight's got 7. He'll take another shot there on the baseline. Not good, but Arkansas Pine Bluff trying to get all over the boards. Culver's the guy that came out of there with it. And now he's got an open look up top, but we'll give it to Edwards. Pretty good ball movement.
Well, it's a bit of a clinic right now.
Needed that one to go.
Arkansas Pine Bluff isn't sure where the ball's going next.
Red Raiders got those 4+ passes in on that trip down the floor. Jumper there, not good. Moretti the rebound of the Carter miss. Really wanted to get that ball ahead to Mooney, but I think Matt turned his back on Davide. And the foul inside as Matt Mooney drives. Carter, who missed to start he draws the charge. Mooney got around Banyard, but posted inside, and standing still was Carter, who draws the foul against Matt Mooney. And that's one of those things that Chris Beard does not want his team to do, getting the charging violation.
Marquel Carter, he certainly was. He was set. It's a good call. And Marcus Pettigrew right there. You know, and Matt Mooney passes up that corner three, and at some point he decides, okay, I'm going to the basket right here. Wasn't really looking to dish it, but got caught. Nice help defense right there by Brandon Francis.
Yeah, Bassey was going to try to turn back inside, and Francis took a long look at the scouting report. Knew Bassey wanted to spin back the opposite way and was right there to knock that ball away. Edwards, though, a little bit short on the inbound, but Bassey unable to finish. And Red Raiders another offensive opportunity. Lead by 7. Here's Davide. Corprew back in for Chris Beard. This guy's just been awfully good as this year goes along. I mean, Corprew, absolutely no fear to go inside.
He's just one of those guys. When he's in the game, good things happen. I mean, that's just all there is to it. And he ends up scoring for you. He's going to rebound. He takes care of the ball. He's shooting a great percentage from deep. Is I think 50% from behind the arc.
Davide Moretti certainly likes the United Supermarkets arena as well. Red Raiders now by 11.
You know, one thing too about Corprew is I think he's embraced his role, and I think that he likes coming off the bench. You know, I think he's one of those guys that likes to kind of see how it plays out and adjust to the situation, and comes in and does some damage when he's able to get into the game.
Won a national championship nearby at South Plains College a year ago.
And they are 10-0, and talked to Deshaun about that today. He said Coach Green still got them rolling out there. They're 10-0 and ranked second in the country in South Plains.
Davide Moretti drawing the foul from Markel Carter.
You know, and Davide has indicated in recent weeks, he's like, you know, it was good for me last year. I learned a lot from Keenan Evans and things like that. I'll tell you what else he learned. He learned from playing against and watching Trae Young, who now plays for the Atlanta Hawks, and obviously that Oklahoma Sooner. That tilting that head back right there when you get contact and you feel like the defender's riding you, he gets that call a lot, and that is something that Trae Young kind of mastered. You almost bait the official, but Moretti it's a kind of a savvy veteran move for a sophomore.
But missed at the free throw line. That doesn't happen very often. He was 17 of 18 stepping to the line there and missed. That is rare. Clearly the Red Raiders' best free throw shooter. And we'll check out for a moment as Jarrett Culver returns, but Moretti with 9 here in the first half.
And you say the Red Raiders' best free throw shooter. He may be one of the best free throw shooters in the country.
Yeah.
You just, you know, basically just saw Bigfoot right there. with that miss. Or maybe I should have used a superhero reference since it's superhero night.
Clearly doesn't happen very often. Charles Jackson has played here the last time Arkansas Pine Bluff was in this arena as a freshman. Did not score in that game as the Red Raiders won, and Texas Tech out front again by 11 here over teams ranked in the top 25. They've not beaten anybody there in the poll yet, but Memphis on Saturday, USC and Nebraska prior to that, I think is what certainly has vaulted the Red Raiders up in the national rankings.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And I think that you see the dunk right there by Norrenzo Diaste underneath. I think what Chris Beard is looking at right now, this is a beginning of a 3-game homestand, and you want to just try to go 3-0 and manage the situation before you go to New York and take on the Duke Blue Devils, because you'll certainly see a ranked team there. What do you think?
I believe the Blue Devils will probably still be in the poll when you see them at Madison Square Garden, but it's Northwestern State of Louisiana and Abilene Christian coming up in those next 2 games here at home. Let's go across the way to Taylor Peters.
Yeah, guys, Coach Chris Beard was just telling his team, how many offensive rebounds do they have right now? The answer is 3. And so we have to be really disciplined in the next 4 minutes of basketball in order to keep this team to less than 8 for the game like we had talked about. But after that first time out, he was really challenging his team to focus in. He thought that 41% shooting from the field for Pine Bluff was simply too high, especially Martaveous, McKnight, and Texas Tech was able to hold him as we just saw him exit the game not long ago. Now they're shooting 31% from the half, and so Coach Beard really credited them there.
Thank you, Taylor. I tell you what, field goal percentage defense by the Red Raiders is you can't get any better, Chris.
They're the best in the country, and I think that it speaks to kind of the culture of this program, that so many of these new pieces on this roster have bought into how you have to play defense, or you're simply not going to play. You know, I think what Kyler Edwards and Deshaun Corprew and guys like that kind of entered into the equation here, and the grad transfers like Matt Mooney and Tariq Owens, if you don't buy in to defending, you're just simply going to sit next to us and we'll let somebody else do it. But that part is why you're 7-0.
And how tough has it been on Arkansas Pine Bluff? They had gone 5.5 minutes without scoring before getting a point there just a moment ago. But think about it in this term. This is the Red Raiders' 8th game of the year, so they played 15 halves of basketball to this point and allowed only 1 opponent to shoot better than 50% in a half all season long. That happened to be in the season opener against the University of Incarnate Word, and in the second half of that ball game, Red Raiders weren't very happy about what happened in those first 20 minutes, were they?
Yeah, no more is what Chris Beard said, and I think what did they end up with? 10 points or 7 points?
They had scored 30 points in that first half, and in the second half of that ball game, 3 of 30 from the field and scored 7 points. So Red Raiders have really played great defense overall throughout this season. So pretty remarkable there.
And you know what? You almost get caught into taking it for granted a little bit. Just because, but this is, you want to know what the identity of Texas Tech basketball is, but that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's motion offense, and it's that side defense. It's just team defense. I mean, they're going to play for each other, and you see so many guys trying to, reach over and take charges. I mean, all these different things, but it's just fun to watch guys play for each other, but that's what they demand in this program.
And Chris Beard has said, however far this team can go this season, it has everything to do with how well they play defense. And talk about another special moment earlier this season for Terrence Banyard, who was there at the free throw line just a moment ago against California Baptist. Had 22 rebounds. One of the top 5 games in all of college basketball this season. Now, that game did go to triple overtime, and he played 47 minutes, but still, he got 22 rebounds in that one. Isaac Bassey there, one off the Culver miss, and Arkansas Pine Bluff down by 12, a chance to narrow the gap just a little bit, and Martaveous McKnight waits to check in and may get an opportunity real quick with the backcourt violation.
Yeah, I would say 22 rebounds. That's a good night now. I mean, Dennis Rodman would be proud. Ben Wallace. I'm trying to think of some of the great rebounders through the years in the association.
Bill Russell.
It's certainly
like that one.
And, it's funny you mentioned Bill Russell, because after the Red Raiders beat Memphis, in their locker room, Rick Pitino, who has been great to Coach Beard over the years, came to the locker room, kind of talked to the team a little bit, and he went back to his Celtics head coaching days and told the story about Bill Russell and playing for each other and some of those things, and kind of fun to hear some of those things, because they don't come any greater than Bill Russell.
No, and I think he talked a little bit about being unselfish and playing for a team, not for an individual. And Bill Russell and the Celtics had a run of a few good years, I think.
That Sports Illustrated cover with, what is it, the 11 championship rings?
Yeah.
Got 2 on the thumb, and that's what you strive for right there. Watch out.
That pass into the front row here in Lubbock. Red Raiders are going to get the basketball with just 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go before halftime, running a 12-point lead over Arkansas Pine Bluff. Again, not the greatest start offensively for the Red Raiders, but nothing wrong with defense on this night.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen a field goal from the Golden Lions in about 8 minutes. And so, again, Texas Tech certainly doing a good job on the defensive end. Tariq Owens finishes at the rim right there. But, and I think what you've seen is that Martaveous McKnight certainly hit a couple shots early, but not much since then.
Going to try and defend him a little bit better now. Long-range jumper from Charles Jackson, who finally finds the rim here in Lubbock. It was 8 minutes without a bucket for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Jackson had played here a couple of years ago and had gone 0 for 5 in that one, and that ball deflected into the big night in the front row here. An opportunity to handle the ball for Red Raider fans.
Yeah, and with a guy like Jackson, who just buried that 3 for the Golden Lions, I mean, he's somebody that you've got to be aware of him on the arc. That's what he's in there to do. You like to try to make him put it on the floor and beat him that way. So you got to run him off that three-point line. Kyler Edwards on him right now on this possession, unless there's a switch. But just got to be aware of those guys.
Well, he's only got 2 games in double figures this season. In both of them, he's been over 20 points. So if he gets hot, he can certainly help Arkansas Pine Bluff's cause. Amari Hardy in the ball game for Arkansas Pine Bluff. That shot no good by Doss. And the Red Raiders after the air ball. Reminder by the fans here with the ball. Here's Davide Moretti. Got it stripped away, and Golden Lions another opportunity to score.
Yeah, it's one of those turnovers that Chris Beard would not want to see. Is Moretti just kind of dribbles into traffic right there, and then throws it away again.
And threw it into a crowd as well. That will not make the Red Raider coach very happy, but Tech is in front.
In the Madison Square Garden Jimmy Valvano Classic last night. So fortunately, the Red Raiders have got the ball.
Kansas and Iowa State also ranked, and They are off with good starts. Martaveous McKnight got a night going there. Standings there brought to you by Plains Capital Bank, right with the good guys at Plains Capital Bank. 29-21. Pine Bluff had trouble hanging on to the basketball, getting the hand of McKnight, and it winds up in the net. And Matt Mooney answers.
McKnight already in the double figures. The Red Raiders, previous to that timeout, they had 3 turnovers in about the minute and a half right before that last timeout. So not something that Chris Beard wanted to see from his guys.
Tough luck for Jackson. The shot in and out and into the hands of the Red Raiders. 2.5 minutes to go in this first half. Tyler Edwards not there. Tariq Owens, the long arms and rebound, and got it back to Kyler, who scores.
That's all Tariq Owens is what it is. I mean, long rebound right there, and then just it's smart that Kyler Edwards follows his shot. It took him a second, but you see the handoff right there along the baseline, and Kyler able to finish, but all because of the long rebound by Tariq Owens. He just says so many things for a basketball team. You know, and we talked about the block shots by Tariq Owens a while ago, but there's just no stat for how many shots he alters, John. I mean, there's just, and again, you know, him in the game versus him out of the game is worlds of difference from you from a defensive standpoint when he's not in there to protect the rim for you.
No, you know, guys driving into that lane to take a shot realize that Tariq Owens can leap up probably 12+ feet to block or alter a shot, and that changes the trajectory, no question about it. McKnight over Mooney, not there, but into Matt's hands. Matt, who had lost the ball a couple of times against Memphis by players coming up from behind him, made sure it didn't happen there. Great look inside to Culver, though, who could not finish in a crowd and got knocked to the deck.
Some unselfish basketball being played by the Red Raiders tonight, and in some cases, I think maybe too many passes. So some open looks, just trying to be impatient. I think that that's one thing that Coach Beard would really appreciate about his team is some patience. When a team plays zone defense, sometimes you get baited into certain shots, and it's okay. Do I need to take it this early in the shot clock? Could we get something better? Sometimes you pass that up, and you didn't end up getting anything better.
Yeah, sometimes you can be too unselfish.
When it ends up in a turnover, and you throw it away or something like that. You never even got a shot off when you just passed up a nice open look.
Charles Jackson on the drive, and he'll be called for the charge. Corprew sets up inside and draws the offensive foul.
Put him on the charge board. They keep that in the Texas Tech locker room.
I believe there's a prize at the end of the year.
It's giant, looks like a softball league trophy is what it looks like. That you get to, I guess, carry around the locker room and claim that it's yours.
Probably get your name on a nameplate for the year of drawing charges.
Because that's worth something. I mean, you know, if you get the engrave, the trophy there. But Deshaun Corprew and Jackson just kind of buried his head like a running back. He was just pretty clear, out of control right there. An easy call for the official.
Well, Culver may have returned the favor here, driving inside, and he did.
Yeah, I think
you don't see that very often.
You got to be careful when you're gonna drive. If you're going to drop that shoulder, see that? Yeah, he just dips that shoulder right there, that right shoulder. He's going that left-hand finish, and clearly a charge by Jarrett Culver as he comes out.
Got around Hardy, but Chris Smith, the 6'8" junior out of Memphis, was standing there waiting, and Culver ran right through him. Under a minute now to go before halftime here in Lubbock. Red Raiders by 14. Corprew, the guy on Martaveous McKnight. Don't want to let him get loose for a shot. Jackson charged a moment ago. Here's McKnight. Corprew on him. McKnight forces one, and it went. Wow, right at the shot clock.
And that's great defense by Deshaun Corprew. There's just not a whole lot else you could have done right there. This kid just makes shots. That's what he does. He can certainly score. And Chris Beard wants to get one final look you know, and draw something up and try to get a bucket right.
5 seconds. He's got Kyler Edwards, Deshaun Corprew, Brandon Francis, Davide Moretti, and Matt Mooney. This is a small lineup, Chris, for the final moments of this half.
Yeah, you're getting a perimeter look. There's no doubt about that. He's going to, you know, you'll try to drip that clock down until about 6 seconds and then pull the trigger, give yourself a chance for a putback.
Moretti's got 9 here in the first half, has the basketball now at 10, counting down. Corprew the pick. Brandon Francis was there as well, and Moretti, who's felt pretty good tonight, can't get it to go with the shot clock buzzer, and no, he draws a blocking foul. Thought he had stepped into position and drawn a charge from McKnight, but that not the case with less than a second to go before halftime.
I think, yeah, we'll take a look at this. He's set. He is absolutely set. I think that it surprised Kirby Sitton, the official that was standing right there. He is standing there with his hands up, and it appears set right there in the open floor. It happened right in front of us, and I was surprised that he was right there taking a lot of contact. He misses that shot, but again, the official saw it differently.
Red Raider fans saw the replay here on the big board in the arena. They didn't like the call either. But another opportunity for Martaveous McKnight. Couple of free throws. For a guy shooting nearly 75% on the year, Mooney let one fly. Don't think that would have counted. Red Raiders do lead here at halftime. Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. Charles Jackson, Martaveous McKnight, who has been as promised in the first half of this ball game. Cameron Posey, it's Sean Doss, and I'm trying to catch the other Pine Bluff. Trevor Banks is in there, but the Red Raiders, you talked about being aggressive. Culver right to the rack.
Yeah, that's clearly a set right there called in the locker room. Let's get us a bucket early in the second half here, and Jarrett Culver driving to the basket. Certainly equals an easy shot there.
That was Banyard in the ball game, not Banks, and they missed by Banyard, and the Red Raiders have it right back. Another opportunity to score, leading by 12. Tariq Owens can make that shot. Does spend a lot of time, extra time today, working on his shot. He can knock down a three-pointer on occasion. Did not do it there, but is capable. 15 on the shot clock. Tariq on near the baseline there. Matt Mooney again, 9 on that shot clock. Mooney kind of pinned in there on the baseline and threw it away. McKnight stepped over and stole it. Dribbled it, got away from Bamber, but went right to one of his teammates. McKnight, SWAC Player of the Year last season. 14 in that first half on 5 of 9 shooting. His teammates are 3 of 14.
Well, yeah, you hear Coach Cyprian on the way to the half talking to Taylor. He's a pro. I mean, I agree. I mean, at some level, he's going to get paid to play this game. When you can make shots like that are mostly contested, he's still able to score at a high level. Boy, you know, that early turnover right there, so you're already at 8. Taylor talked about that too early in the game, kind of a night of 8s and trying to stay 8 or below, and you're already there with 18 and a half to go in this one.
And trying to win your 8th game of the year. Matt Mooney helping the Red Raider cause. Mooney's got 9 in the ball game now. Odease inside, trying to keep Banyard off that low block. Or the Red Raiders like to call it the porch, don't they, Chris?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Different terminology. You know, you have top of the key, you got elbow, you got block, you got short corner. Chris Beard and his staff have some different terminology for some of the parts of the court. The porch. Porch sitting is not bad.
Yeah, unless you're trying to push somebody off of it and the officials get you.
That's true.
McKnight turned away by Moretti. Golden Lions got it inside. Banyard can't finish, and he's in a mess there with Owens and Brandon Francis, and the Red Raiders are going to come away with the ball.
And that's all Tariq Owens. He alters that shot he speeds it up, and you miss an easy layup if you're Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Tyler Edwards off the rim. Jackson clears for the Lions. Telling you, you cannot give Marcus McKnight any room at all, and he has scored again, got 16 now.
Well, and you see Kyler Edwards go for the steal right there at the top of the key out there on the wing, and he doesn't get it, and he leaves the rest of his teammates kind of hung out to dry right there. Is it just equal to clear lane to the basket for Martaveous McKnight?
Missed on the layup, though, there, and the Red Raiders run. Don't have numbers, but they've got a couple of good shooters. But Moretti couldn't get open. Nice look by Brandon Francis, but Banyard blocked the shot by Edwards out of bounds.
And there's a fine line, because I think what Coach Beard wants from his Red Raiders, he's wanting them to play fast tonight, and I think wants them to play fast a lot of the time. There's a fine line, though, in being sped up and playing quickly in transition, but also taking care of the ball. Because sometimes you get too sped up, and it's not anything the opponent's doing. But you gotta do a better job of taking care of it when you want to play fast like this.
Hurry! What's the saying? Well, nice look inside there by Culver to Tariq Owens, but
know when to go and know when to slow was one.
Or a John Wooden comment.
Yeah, that's
be quick, but don't hurry.
That's right. It's exactly right. Yeah, John Wooden wouldn't have said know when to go, know when to slow.
Yeah.
Yes.
He'd just say throw it inside to the big man. We've got some good ones there over the years.
Yeah. Bill Walton and Kareem. Well, I guess it was Lou Alcindor back in the day whenever John Wooden was coaching him.
Yes, it was. They had a run of some championships.
Yes.
There were some really good UCLA teams under John Wooden. 41-27 Red Raiders by 14. Matt Mooney turned around, had a wide open look at the basket, but couldn't score. McKnight, the senior out of Walls, Mississippi, averages 25 a ball game, has 16 tonight for Arkansas State. Or not Arkansas Pine Bluff, rather. Here's Jackson. Nice backdoor look inside and finishing. Kamari Hardy.
Backdoor cut, and Tariq Owens not able to alter that one. He slid over there and tried, made an attempt at it, but it's a nice look by Coach Ivory's team. And then they've competed well tonight. It's been very impressive.
Again, nice look by Mooney getting that ball to Tariq, but he'll be at the free throw line in a moment. Red Raiders 41-29. You mentioned another former Arkansas native in the house tonight, watching the Red Raiders, his alma mater playing ball.
That's right. Aaron Ross sitting right over there behind the Red Raider bench. Graduated a couple years ago. Part of the first year of the Chris Beard era. Originally from Springdale, Arkansas, I believe it was.
Corey Carr, another former Red Raider out of the state of Arkansas. Those are all some pretty good ones.
He was good. Now Corey Carr was Ronald Ross, part of the Texas Tech staff now.
Corey Carr left the Red Raiders at the same time Tony Battie did for the NBA. Had a stint at the Chicago Bulls. Tony Battie, who you heard from at halftime in Taylor's piece.
And Tony, was around the team in Miami. Lives in Orlando. Made the drive down. Talked to him at shoot around the day before the game, and he was obviously at the game at the American Airlines Arena there in downtown Miami, Florida.
Chris Beard still waiting on his opportunity to recruit a 6'6" player that shows up on campus at 6'11" after a summer of growth. That was the case of Tony Battie, and
amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and luck and all of those things. But yeah, Tony is one of the best that's ever come through here, and a lottery pick and all of those things. But yeah, he was special.
Spent a lot of years in the NBA. Arkansas Pine Bluff has narrowed the gap just a little bit, 42-31. Red Raiders still on top. Nice look by Culver. Odiase, who has scored 14 points in his previous 2 games against Arkansas Pine Bluff, gets a wide open look there. Nice pass from Culver and rams it home. Red Raiders would like to see the ball in anybody's hands but Martaveous McKnight, but Jackson can fire it up long range, off target there, and Lawrence, the board, and the Red Raiders have numbers here on the run. Brandon's got a wide open look, but that one's offline, but look who's underneath with the offensive board. Odiase.
Lawrence is certainly going to work in these last couple of trips on the glass, finishing at the rim. Brandon Francis probably a little bit too open. There's Aaron Ross. Certainly one of those what you would call a stretch 4 kind of player. Step out and soft touch from deep.
6'8". I remember his biography saying he liked to swim, like to go swimming. Who doesn't enjoy it?
I'm with you. Yeah. Yeah, Aaron, you know, a big part of that turnaround. Coach Tubby Smith took over this program and get to the NCAA tournament that first year, 5 seasons ago, and Aaron was a big part of that. Beat 7 ranked teams in a row, I think, or something crazy that year.
I think Isaac Bassey is going to draw a charging foul. Odiase, the recipient. Odiase trying to do what Corprew did the other day against Memphis, kind of sparked this team on both ends.
Well, and yeah, you see the chicken wing right there, but Texas Tech has also got him scouted really well. He's going to back you down, and he's going to spin to that right shoulder right there. There's help defense just sitting there waiting on him every time he backs down and looks to spin, but a little frustrated is Mr. Bassey with the chicken wing.
Friendly roll for Kyler Edwards, and the Red Raiders extend the margin to 16 over the Golden Lions. Here's Martaveous McKnight on the drive-away. Traveled with the basketball, I think held it on his leg, but no call. Quick shot from the outside, not there, and Francis cleared to Mooney. Here's Deshaun Corprew. Well, the Red Raiders doing a great job of looking inside for cutters, and Odiase hammered by Isaac Bassey inside.
Norris, let's take a look at the replay here.
Got clobbered by Bassey on both ends.
Yeah, and to Norris's credit, veteran mover, he sold that one pretty good, but Bassey just kind of standing there with his arms up. He just kind of got, Norris got hit with that shoulder or elbow and went flying the other way.
One thing about Bassey, this Arkansas Pine Bluff team only has a couple of wins. He started in both of them, so he's been a good luck charm, but out for a moment after picking up a foul on both ends. Couple of good number 23s there. One with the ball, one defending. Jarrett Culver for the Red Raiders. Martaveous McKnight for Pine Bluff. He's got that neck throwback move as well, but didn't draw a foul. 9 on the shot clock, trying to drive the baseline spin, and Culver slapped it away. Good look by Jarrett. Matt Mooney, the recipient.
Well, that's a defensive clinic on the other end by Jarrett Culver. He just never gave Martaveous McKnight any room at all. Swiped at the ball, got all ball when he came down. Chris Beard over here wanting his team with the claps and some energy and things like that. He's the head coach, is leading the charge.
You think about Jarrett Culver and his 19-point-a-game scoring average, but pretty good on the opposite end of the floor as well.
He really is. I mean, just a well-rounded game. I mean, I think that Jarrett would tell you he needs to take care of the ball a little bit better, be better at the free throw line. But I mean, there's just not a whole lot of weakness there, John. You start to get nitpicky with what he is as a player.
Red Raiders forced the turnover on the inbound play. Moretti tried to go the distance. Culver there to rebound, to block shot, and left Jarrett in a bind. He calls timeout. Red Raiders have stretched the margin.
Factored into that ranking, certainly. So it's a big reason why the Red Raiders are 7-0 and ranked where they are.
#1 in the nation. That's a look at your Ford League leaders. Visit your local Texas Ford dealers today. Ford is the best in Texas. 12 minutes to go here in Lubbock tonight. Great crowd at the arena for this one with Arkansas Pine Bluff. Inside to Culver, but they will wave that one off. The foul on the floor. We'll take a break. It's 49 Municipal Coliseum for that throwback game. It'll start at 6 o'clock. You can get tickets now at texastech.com or by calling 806-742-TECH. Pretty nice inbound play there to Tariq.
Yeah, that'll work right there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see some of that in the Coliseum in about a week and a half, as that'll be the last basketball game I think played in that venue before they do away with it next March or April. And that Abilene Christian team 7-1 I think at last check, and the head coach is a former assistant to Chris Beard. How about that?
Boy, watch this inbound play a moment ago as Tariq gets around the pick set by Jarrett Culver and just throws it down with one arm.
And Sean Doss.
Wow, that's a pretty good way to get fans into this one.
Yeah, Sean Doss just he kind of has his hand up and he just kind of shakes his head like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. Yeah, he get momentum and he's backing away, and you see the head shake right there as he just looked up, and Tariq Owens dropped the hammer.
And across the way, our Taylor Peters.
Guys, that was, wow, Tariq Owens again right there. That baseline out of bounds play right there that we saw just before this play was exactly how Coach Beard drew it up in the huddle. It was amazing. Coach Beard said, when you play with discipline and when you play with focus, execution comes, guys, and we've seen it.
Well, and how about the defensive effort there by Mooney? Took it away from Martaveous, McKnight, and Culver able to finish, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, this is, they're starting to get it going now. Yeah, I mean, he's just, you have a hard time defending that when you just throw it up and he can just go get it.
Tariq's going to ask for somebody to throw that ball where he doesn't have to reach quite so far back to slam it home, and then Matt Mooney drawing the defender, feeding Culver, who'll be at the free throw line and finishing the three-point play.
And he gets his left arm kind of swiped away, so he's having to finish with his right hand, and certainly it just speaks to how talented that Jarrett is, adjusted in midair and able to finish at the rim.
And the Red Raiders force a
had a bad half here or there, but I think he was really curious how his team would respond. They certainly did, having to battle back and take that lead late in the game versus Memphis, but other than that, they played well out in front for most of this non-conference season.
A 25-point margin of victory is you're talking about defense and how that goes into those net rankings. The Red Raiders' 25-point margin of victory this year in their 7 wins is 4th best in the country. Auburn leads in that category at 26.4. So the Red Raiders are right there with Duke and North Carolina State in the number 2 and 3 spots. So an impressive year defensively by the Red Raiders to this point, and nothing to take that away from them tonight either. Missed there by Marquell Carter, and again the Red Raiders an opportunity to extend their lead.
Yeah, and you can tell that Pine Bluff's starting to struggle right now. They can't get McKnight the ball where he wants it, and just starting to throw up some bad shots right now as there's not much flow on the offensive end for the Golden Lions.
McKnight's had trouble getting the ball, only 1 of 4 shooting here in the second half. Just Red Raiders aren't letting him have an opportunity.
It is really fascinating watching how much Coach Ivory goes to his bench. I mean, it's just constant. We thought Texas Tech subs a lot, and they certainly do compared to most, but there's a Golden Lion sitting at the table every time you look up.
Somebody coming in for a team looking for their 3rd win of the year, but it does not look like it'll happen here tonight. Here's Carter again, Francis defending, and Tariq Owens there to help as well. Not a lot of place to go after that. Dwayne Whitfield in for the Lions. Shot there, no good. Whitfield tried to tip. McKnight, great job inside for the 6'4" guard to get the offensive rebound and score. If he can't do it from the outside, why not go in and try to get an offensive rebound and do it And he did right there. 18 for McKnight. It's still a huge Red Raider lead. 10 on the shot clock. Deshaun Corprew, nice cut inside. He's tough to stop there. You can't get it done on the first try. How about a second?
Great body control by Deshaun Corprew, and that's one of the, just toughness around the rim. He's hard to deny it. He's not the biggest guy. Stands about 6'4", 6'5", but just toughness and will.
Boy, just a strong guy. McKnight around Mooney, but oh wow, Tariq Owens waiting there, but I think McKnight had been fouled by Kyler Edwards before the eraser moved over to send that one into the seats.
Yeah, Kyler, he looked like he was going to try to take a charge, but then you see him jump and get some of that elbow right there, that right arm. But yeah, that shot wasn't going to be made.
No, it was not.
It almost hit a guy wearing a bathrobe behind the basket here, wearing a Speedo, which
I don't think any of those are superheroes that I'm familiar with.
I would echo that sentiment. A little uncomfortable there, as a matter of fact. Yes. Maybe Tariq was trying to send a message there.
Yeah. That's 20 for McKnight in the ball game. 4 of 4 at the free throw line. Malik Ondigo has checked in, as has Josh Mbala for Chris Beard. So a little bit of Ondigo in that first half. Corprew again. This guy's just good anywhere on the floor. Mbala couldn't get his hands on that ball and tipped it away. But a timeout here in Lubbock. Red Raiders 58-35 over.
The Golden Lions have going on offense right now, and so Texas Tech has not been able to shut him down necessarily, but nobody else in the visiting team been able to do much damage at all on the offensive end, and 3 of 12 shooting here in the second half.
Look out. Mbala with the steal, and he got fouled trying to go up and dunk by Banyard. Had the breakaway after tapping the ball away from the Golden Lion, but unable to finish. He's looking back. Never looked back.
Yeah, he got pushed right in the back. Right there on the number 3, he's got a handprint right there. Just kind of, had he not stopped, in adjusted speeds, because he was kind of getting his footing and everything, as he was going to go up and do some damage, he would have tore the rim down.
The true freshman out of Bordeaux, France. This is his first trip to the free throw line this season. Unsuccessful on his first attempt, and Malik Ondigo will not allow him the second because called for a lane violation.
And Mbala hits him on the shoulder. He's like, man, come on.
I'm trying to get in the scorebook, and I'm not going to get my second shot. A lot of talent there, just very raw. Here's McKnight trying to back down Deshaun Corprew, and turns and makes that shot good. You're talking about him now. What is that, 22 for?
And no, I mean, that's just a tough shot to make. I mean, he's a you say it all the time about certain guys, but he's a shot taker and a shot maker. But I mean, those are contested looks. He just continues to bury them.
You know, he's 8 of 16 in the ball game, while his teammates are 4 of 20. If I'm George Ivory, I think I would want to say the ball goes through his hands on every trip down. Corprew's shot kind of deflected away. Let's hear from Taylor across the way.
Yeah, you mentioned it just a little bit earlier. Some of that raw, natural talent that's out there right now. Not a whole lot of experience among some of these players besides Brandon Freeman.
Good job tonight from the Red Raiders, who spent a lot of time preparing for him and knowing that he is a guy that can light it up if you give him opportunities. And we saw him a moment ago drive inside and grab an offensive board and score. So he can manufacture shots when he needs to, in a 25-point performance by Martaveous McKnight, the SWAC newcomer and player of the year last season. Tyler Edwards, long ball. Red Raiders needed that.
Yeah, Kyler with Nice deep shot right there. But I got to tell you, McKnight's one of the best players we've seen all season, John. I mean, this is an impressive outing. There's nothing fluky about it. He's 9 of 17 from the field, but I mean, he's not forced much. He's had guys just all over him. Still been able to bury different looks. It's impressive, and now he's going to end up at the free throw line here.
That foul called on Malik Ondigo, and both of them crashing to the floor, but Martaveous driving inside to pick up the foul. Will go back to the line. A good free throw shooter as well.
74% coming into the game.
Well, will not shoot. I guess they decided he had not gotten off a shot, and the Red Raiders aren't going to let the Golden Lions inbound the ball. They'll have to call a timeout and draw something. It's still a 21-point Red Raider lead.
Yeah, there's no starters on the floor for Chris Beard, but
yeah,
I think that he wants to see what these guys can do. Joshua Mballa with a cheap foul there.
Going to reach over the back of Banyard on that inbounds pass, and still the Red Raiders not at the foul limit. 5 team fouls here in the second half. McKnight spin move, and this time the phantom foul on Corprew.
And I think that Coach Ivory, he worked that call in the last time out right there. I think Corprew just kind of contested that shot. I don't think he got McKnight, but I think that because they didn't call the previous one a shooting foul, I think you work the officials a little bit, and your wish is my command. Yeah.
Well, he probably deserved it a moment ago, so we'll let that one go. There are the Chris Level cheering group down at the baseline.
No comment.
Well, McKnight well over 20 in this one, where he has been in 5 of their 7 games. And again, we've talked a lot about Corprew, and you see the athletic ability of a 6'5" guard inside with the much larger players, but the guy just has a knack of winding up with the ball.
Yes, he does. DC is what his teammates call him. Just one of those guys. Like I said, he does not any taller than 6'5", but just athletic and just tough, and always seems to be in control. Great body control around the rim, and a nice soft touch. Although we probably jinxed him there as he misses both attempts at the stripe right there.
Played his high school basketball in Norfolk, Virginia. Is considered one of the top 100 players in the country coming out of high school.
Originally committed to Texas A&M.
Wow. Red Raiders by 19. I think Ondigo here going to draw the foul. Tried to do that a moment ago against McKnight. Got called for the foul, but not this time. Banyard into the lane, running over Malik.
Nice job by Malik. Ends up on the charge board.
Tough way to get your name on that charge board, but that's what Chris Beard likes. Tough defense.
Go to the big fella there. He wants to. Let's see what he does with it.
5 minutes to go in this one. Mballa, nice pass to Edwards, but Edwards got hung up inside, but Malik got it back and can't score. Not done yet, though. Look who comes away with the ball.
Not surprising. These are valuable minutes, though, for some of these non-starters. Getting to finish out this game right here is Chris has got all basically substitutes or bench guys in the game right now as he wants to see what this lineup looks together.
I think you've got all 3 of your 6th men in the ball game right now.
Great point.
Brandon Francis and Tyler Edwards, Deshaun Corprew. Edwards here averaged 16 a game a year ago for Findlay Prep. Again, talking about guys who were highly thought of. A 4-star recruit for Chris Beard. A lot of other college teams wanted Tyler Edwards to wear their colors.
No question. Yeah, one of the highest ranked guys that Texas Tech men's basketball has gotten in a long time. And Kayvon Moore sitting over there on the bench. He's the highest ranked, and he got a little practice earlier today. Almost thought maybe they may let him go through warm-ups before the game, but did not suited up as we wait to see if and when he will return.
Young man out of Macon, Georgia, 6'8", plays at point guard, so that'll be something to see when he is finally healthy and ready to play for this team. And nice move inside by Christian Robertson. Robertson, a grad transfer to Pine Bluff.
And Malik Ondigo tried to slide over and help, but a little late. Didn't want to foul, but too late. Get caught in a bad spot.
Robertson hasn't had much luck at the free throw line this season. Only 1 of 5 after that miss. Red Raiders by 19 with 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Edwards trying to direct the Red Raiders to get the offense set up the way Chris Beard wants. On the shot clock, Brandon Francis not there, and that was Ondigo with the rebound. We've got a foul and a timeout here at the United Supermarkets. LC is prohibited. Red Raiders going to win for the 8th time this season. Malik Ondigo at the line with 3:46 to play. Red Raiders suddenly having a tough time at the line, Chris. Somewhere throughout the course of this season, going to have to be really good there.
Yeah, that's 10 of 19 is Texas Tech tonight. You're right. That's not going to compute to a successful conference season. You can get away with that in some of these games in a non-conference now that you've controlled the game late. But Malik Ondigo, who's really a good free throw shooter, but 2 missed opportunities there.
Yeah, Malik was 4 of 5 before going to the line there and missing a pair. Red Raiders oddly have Davide Moretti back in the ball game. Parker Hicks is checked in. Avery Benson in there as well. Shot from the corner won't go for Kamari Hardy. And it's out of bounds off the Lions. Banyard didn't really like the official's decision. Ondigo's out. I think Kyler Edwards, who's one of 3 Red Raiders in double figures tonight, going to come back in as Davide will take a seat. Got the Red Raiders going early with 9 points tonight, but that was it for Davide. All of that in the first half of the ball game. Andrew Sorrells has checked in as well, a walk-on from North Richland Hills. Been around for a while. Little contact there as Edwards brings the ball up the court, but no whistle late in this game. Got some guys here, Chris, that the Red Raider fans who've stuck around would like to see score.
Yeah, Avery Benson, Parker Hicks, and as you mentioned, Andrew Sorrells. They need to see if they can get knock down some open looks and get this crowd back into this thing. As some folks have started to depart.
That trio of Hicks, Benson, and Sorrells haven't played in a while, and opportunity to get in the ball game. All of them really good players. Hicks, a great shooter. Benson, a guy that was going to go to Little Rock with Chris Beard, wound up coming here as a walk-on. Sorrells has been around for a while, another good shooter. Chris Smith at the line for George Ivory's Golden Lions. Suddenly that free throw shooting rim has been covered up, but Smith able to knock down one.
Talked to Andrew coming into the building today, and he said he had a final exam at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. The life of a student athlete. I'm thinking Saturday is not for school, much less at 7 a.m. and a final exam.
Yeah, the Red Raiders have a week off after tonight and don't play again until next Wednesday, and the time off there for finals. And forecast for Saturday morning here in Lubbock is for 100% chance of snow. You better be prepared.
Just what we wanted. Just what we wanted. And this basketball team was just on South Beach, only to come home and a week later maybe dealing with multiple inches of the white stuff on the ground here in Lubbock.
12 on the shot clock. Kyler Edwards out front. That's McKnight who was defending. Here's Mbala. I think he likes to drive. He's capable of that, but can't get the friendly roll. Oh, no.
Yeah, they kind of call
offensive
charge.
foul.
I think when you decide that you're going to drive, look, he's outside the arc right there. He had made his mind made up. I'm going to the bucket, and anybody gets in my way, watch out.
And Chris Smith drew that charge.
Hard to believe that Joshua Mbala, though, is an 18-year-old true freshman. When you look at him, I mean, he is certainly put together. If they just have got to get him caught up and understanding how to play and what they want from him. Nice look right there to Parker Hicks.
Well, Hardy had the right idea to it right through the legs of Banyard. 6'8" guys don't want basketballs down at their ankles coming to them.
Does not work. That's bad basketball.
Talking about Mbala out of Bordeaux, France. Brandon Francis is out of the Dominican Republic. Not all of the Red Raiders homegrown. Here's Ondigo inside. And I tell you what, I like Malik Ondigo.
Yeah, well, you know, his personality, and he's just brings a lot of positive energy to this basketball team. And he's, you know, again, he missed those opportunities at the free throw line a while ago, but he's a really good free throw shooter. He's got a nice jump hook.
Just under 1 minute left to play in this ball game. Red Raiders by 20. I think the fans would like to see Avery Benson take a shot. Here's Sorrells in the corner. Capable shooter off the back iron, but another chance for the Red Raiders. Avery Benson got a couple of golden lines off their feet, but still can't finish. That might be the last scoring opportunity for Chris Beard's team. 28 seconds and counting it down. 20-point advantage. Big night for Martaveous McKnight, who has certainly been what he was promised to be. The 27-point performance to lead all scorers in the ball game. Red Raiders have 3 in double figures. Culver, Matt Mooney, and Kyler Edwards, but a couple of free throws coming. Christian Robertson.
Yeah, you know, you were talking about the schedule earlier, and that this is just a weird time of year because you've got these weeks in between games, which is not normal for these kids. These kids are routine oriented, and you're used to 2 games a week, give or take, and you know, obviously after tonight, you're not back at it until next Wednesday.
That's Northwestern State of Louisiana right here at the United Supermarkets Arena. Red Raiders going to dribble this one out. 65-47. Parker Hicks will hang on to it. Red Raiders win for the 8th time this season over Arkansas Pine Bluff's Golden Lions. Career win number 53 here at Texas Tech for Chris Beard. 65-47 tie.